Welcome to Hornbill TV's Prime Time with Ngullie, ladies and gentlemen. I think most of us have been very busy the previous few weeks because of the elections, but there is also now a sign of relief that the elections have been concluded. We can remove all our collective helmets now. The dilemma is not about what kind of government we will be getting. Democracy has taught us that people will rarely get a government they need, but they will inevitably get the government they deserve. So keep your fingers crossed and keep praying that the next 5 years for Nagaland will be great. Today we have a number of stories for you, including about one that most of us might have been anxiously waiting for. Updates on the Chungdia murder case and the progress the Mochong police have made with its investigations. More on that later. So before we go on to the headlines for this episode, we received a news update just now from the Election Commission, and this is for repolls in several polling stations in Nagaland. So it came in just before we went on air. I was given this story just now, so I will read it out to you. Yeah, definitely we have got about 5 or 4 of them this time that they'll be going for repolls. So this is the notification that we got from the Electoral Commission right now, and it was given to me just now when I came in. So the Election Commission of India has ordered repolls in 4 polling stations of Nagaland. So these are the 4 polling stations: 35 Zinepudos ST, 9 New Colony polling station, 39 Sunnis, 9 Pangti 5, that is a polling station, Tizit, 41 Tizit, 7 Japuka village polling station, 57 Tonikyo, 3 Patso East Wing polling station. So these are the 4 areas that the Election Commission has ordered polling. I'll repeat: 35 Zinepotong, and the polling station is 9 New Colony polling station, 39 Sunnis, and the polling station is 9 Pangti 5. 41st Tizit, the polling station is 7 Japuka village. 57 Tonikyo, and the polling station is 3 Patso East Wing. So these are the 4 areas where the Election Commission has ordered repolls. So we'll be giving you more updates as they come in. So as we go into the details of the stories for this episode, here are the headlines. Mochong police have arrested an individual in connection with the alleged abduction and killing of a 34-year-old youth from Chungtia village in Mokokchung district. More than 300 shops were razed in a massive fire on Monday evening at the Mao market in Kohima. Nagaland Chief Electoral Officer V. Shashank Sekhar has said the law and order situation in the state was largely peaceful. Mokokchung police have arrested an individual in connection with the alleged abduction and killing of a 34-year-old youth from Chungdia village in Mokokchung district. I think this is one of the news events that we all have been waiting for some time now, since that incident happened in Chungtia, and hopefully this will lead to a closure for the people of Chungtia, especially for the family of the deceased youth. So we got a report only today that the arrest was made by the Nagaland police following the said event said to have happened on February 22. The authorities had set up a special investigation team to investigate the case of abduction and the subsequent killing of the youth Imkong Chipa Kichu, who was reportedly found dead a few kilometers from the village. During a press conference today with the Nagaland Chief Electoral Officer, police officials of Nagaland said one person had been arrested on Tuesday and that more details were being awaited by the authorities. Right now, we have no details about the identity of the accused or whether or not the police have established a motive behind the crime. We don't know whether the person was picked up and arrested on suspicion or whether it was a case of accusation, direct accusation. Those are two different things. Right now, we can rely only on the information that is being given to the media by the authorities. So we'll have to wait for more details in this regard. There could be several reasons for this, but considering that the tragic event took place during the height of electoral tensions, there have been speculations that it might have been related to political rivalry. We don't know. Another reason that could have fueled speculations could be that the deceased youth was reportedly a nephew of Janata Dal United candidate Chalukampa Ao from Korinang constituency of Mokochong district. Hornbill TV will be updating you as and when additional details in this regard comes in. Coming right after the stress of elections on Monday, ladies and gentlemen, more than 300 shops were razed in a massive fire on Monday evening at the Mao market in Kohima. I think you know the Mao market there. It's near the BOC. The fire reportedly broke out from the ground floor of the building at about 7 p.m. The area is one of the most congested urban areas in the capital town. So far, we are yet to receive any official statements concerning the actual source and cause of the fire. The fire destroyed the building of the Mao market, which is located at what people know as the BOC. We have also reports that say 2 kacha buildings in the main market area and 2 residences were also razed in the inferno. Initially, when the fire broke out and news about it began to break, there were concerns that patients at 2 hospitals near the location of the fire would be affected. The hospitals are Bethel Hospital and Bethesda Hospital, and of course the fire brigade station in Kohima is located just nearby the Mao market. This is one of the biggest fires in the heart of Kohima town in recent memory, ladies and gentlemen. While we do not have ready data detailing the urban framework of the town, there is a common perception that Kohima might be one of the most congested and structurally compromised urban areas in Nagaland because of various factors, including town or lack of town planning and rampant construction activities. In the event of events such as fire, there is a high possibility of fire spreading easily to other structures because of the high concentration of structures within the Kohima town area. So this phenomenon has been observed in Dimapur too, especially in the city's urban slums. Buildings and makeshift dwellings in Dimapur are packed tightly that fires during dry seasons are almost uncontrollable. Some of our senior viewers might recall that in 2016, the Nagaland State Disaster Management Authority had said that a town is being rapidly urbanized without taking into consideration town planning and building regulations. I remember, I think it was way back 2007 in Dimapur, there was a fire at the railway colony area, I believe so. The fire was so big, but the place was so congested that we could not, I was a reporter during the time, we could not even go into near the location of the area. And after much of the village or the colony had been destroyed, fired vehicles could come in and somehow, reach the site. By the time the vehicles reached the site, it was already too late. A lot of houses were burned down. It was near the railway station in Dimapur. Let's hope that the Nagaland government will seriously engage in studies and town planning and implement regulatory mechanisms backed by technological inputs. Of course, there should be stringent implementation of urban building laws too and check encroachment. Let's check out the next news. So now the elections, the polling is over, the elections are over, but counting is still yet to be. But anyhow, I think all of us we are tired of actually hearing about elections all the time, especially with the violence that has been happening. But here are updates from the election authorities giving an update about what happened during the past 2 weeks, and especially on Monday. Here are the updates from the election authorities of Nagaland as the establishments draw the curtains of the Nagaland Assembly polls 2023. Nagaland Chief Electoral Officer V. Shashank Sekar said that the law and order situation in the state was largely peaceful and the state successfully completed the polling process in all the 2,315 polling stations in Nagaland. According to the ECI's latest update, the overall percentage of voter turnout was 84.66%. A few cases of minor skirmishes and heated exchanges between supporters of rival political parties were also reported in Mokokchung, yes, Wokha, yes, Mon, Zinepoto, and Teminu. However, and thankfully, no major issues could develop due to timely intervention and presence of the Nagaland police and other security forces and agencies. The CEO listed some major incidents that occurred today, which included stone pelting, yes, and a fire incident at Akuk village in Wokha. Further, it seems some miscreants pelted stones against security personnel in Mon in the 55th Monyakshu Assembly constituency. An ITBP man and a Nagaland policeman sustained minor injury after some people started throwing stones at the security personnel. Further, the EC reported a firing incident again at Autsakali. Did I get that right? Autsakili village in 32nd Atuizi Assembly constituency, where the authorities said underground elements are suspected to have been involved in. Elsewhere in Nagaland, a Madhya Pradesh policeman died on the spot and 3 sustained injuries in an accident near Longcham, the authorities said. The CEO also informed that police seized about 1,99,350 rupees in the past 24 hours. 40 people were also bound down. That's what the police authority says. We are not really sure what bound down here means. Maybe it could be related or it might mean arrest. So 4 people were bound down, taking the total to 2,900 troublemakers bound down by the police authorities during the 2023 general elections, the Chief Electoral Officer's establishment said. Veteran politicians and young challengers, of course, street fights, stones, gunshots, and harassment were the ingredients for the Nagaland election this time. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot happened. Why do elections always mean tensions? Why are elections such a pain, especially for those of us who just want to go out and just vote and return home and just continue with life normally? If we'd all just go out and vote only, it would make life much easier for everyone. I wanted to approach this topic because someone actually asked about it. Why do we have tensions during elections most of the time? Well, let's examine some of the general reasons why elections are generally a time of conflict and tensions. So this could be some of the probable causes. The leader of the National Democratic Progressive Party and Nagaland Chief Minister Nifirio is contesting from the Northern Angami 1 seat in Kohima. This is a seat that has been in his hold for more than 5 terms. The Chief Minister is fighting the seat against Congress candidate Seivile Shashu. There are no indications of tensions or untoward incidents from that constituency, ladies and gentlemen. So that's something you should remember because my story is going to hang on that. There are observers who say Rio might not really have that much of a fight from his Congress opponent this time and might even retain his seat. So how can one say that peaceful constituencies are where there is a clear winner even before polling or votes have been counted? How do we know that? The premise of this argument is this: constituency where there are tensions and violence may indicate that votes are too small to be split. Second, there is no clear majority in the vote share, or that the votes are perceived to have moved in for or against a particular candidate, where there are many candidates. By logic, this could mean if a constituency has a candidate who is perceived to be a clear winner, or at least leading in terms of supporters, there wouldn't be tensions. You know why? Because tensions in itself are an indication of the struggle for balance of power. This is key. The struggle is to maintain the balance of power, the status quo, or to tip it in a particular candidate's favor. Yes, I know what you are asking or thinking right now. How do we know which candidate has how many votes or controls the vote? Because if election results are not yet out, if they have not been declared, how do we know that? It is very simple, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know much about grassroots political strategies and tactics in other parts of India, but in Nagaland, especially in the rural areas, there is something unique called a voters register. I know, I've seen it. This is not the same as the electoral roll, which is a list of all eligible voters, ladies and gentlemen. In contrast, the voters register is an informal list maintained by parties and candidates. It's a list of people who have pledged to a particular candidate or a party in the constituency or area of concern. So every political party, candidate and camp has one of these registers. Yes, these numbers may change during the course of electioneering and during voting, yes, but it gives the candidates a very general idea and outline of his position. It gives him an idea about his share of votes in the game in that particular area. So if you have a lot of people pledged to you or your party, they are listed in your register, so you know where your position is. You wouldn't really think it will be worth wasting your money and muzzle fighting if you know that you've got a lot of people who have promised their vote to you in that register. So your constituency is peaceful in that way. But I want you to know this, ladies and gentlemen, if your share of vote is fewer compared to your opponents, you will want to do everything you can to secure more in your vote list. That's also one of the reasons why political candidates and supporters fight, or why they capture booths or prevent people from voting at particular polling stations. I know this for sure because I have seen this list too. I've got beaten up also. Besides, I have also been in political camps during elections when I was young, enthusiastic and a little stupid. Of course, there are other reasons why conflicts do happen. Alcohol is one of them, ladies and gentlemen. Candidates have camps manned mostly by youths. I have also got drunk too and have been beaten by undergrounds, yes, during those days. It is not a secret that in Nagaland, alcohol is prohibited, but whiskey, rum and beer are not really prohibited. Anyhow, when you are full of the wrong kind of spirit, your adrenaline means you are more likely to choose flying rocks instead of peace. So if someone says hello to you during elections, you're most probably going to punch him in the mouth. So that's another reason. Another reason is history. Nagaland is a tiny state where everyone knows everyone else. Everyone is an aunt or uncle or nephew or cousin or brother or sister, because we are a small community. This is so especially in the villages. It is most likely you are going to remember what certain people did to you during the previous elections. Money is another issue, yes. There are certainly a lot of friction caused by money. So if you get 500 rupees while your rival supporters get 1000 per vote, there's going to be a friction. This frustration may also result in constant change in the allegiance of many of the supporters, especially youth, which would then cause friction. This would add to the electoral stress, supporters' tensions, and if you put it together with alcohol, money, history and issues of ideology and principle, well, you've got a very, very intoxicating brew that will knock you out. Let's check out the next news, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have any updates, but like I've pointed out before in regard to the repolling that have been ordered in 4 police stations. If there are any more details in regard to that, it seems we have not received any yet right now, but if there are any more details to that, I will certainly update you. Keep watching Hornbill in that for that. Those were the newsmakers for Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone across the state is now looking forward to the vote counting and what that could mean for the people of Nagaland. There's a lot at stake here, ladies and gentlemen, so keep praying, keep hoping, and make sure that when your prayers are being prayed, you also remember that it's not just for you, it is for the entire people of Nagaland, whose government will also come into being because of your vote. Keep watching Hornbill TV, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ngullie. See you next time.